And then before you know it, everything has changed and they've added more flights and we're going to a completely different destination. So, how about that? Good morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to my last trip of the month. It is the 27th of September today and I am flying to Zimbabwe again. I think today it's just a two-leg. We're gonna fly from Johannesburg to Victoria Falls, from Victoria Falls to Harare, and then be done with the day. And then I have no idea what the next couple of days looks like, but I think it's gonna be a 3-day trip. I should be back on Friday so that I am home for the weekend and so that we can attend Keegan's cousin's baby shower this time. If it's your first time here, hi, my name is Andy and I am a South African flight attendant in the charter industry. I'm 30 years old and I live in Johannesburg with my fiance. And if I don't leave in the next minute, I'll be late. So let's get going. We have no idea what our passenger figures are and I can't board until my pilots say I can board. And toilet service just finished, catering came and left, everything's good to go. Hopefully we'll be leaving soon. You guys. Okay, so firstly we had 34 passengers. They were all lovely. It was this group from America, this like tour group. Shut up! Can you please turn the music off? My first officer figured out a way to get to the Bluetooth and start playing music. So he's trying to like get me in a good mood because they just added flights. We were supposed to be leaving here in about half an hour with passengers going to Harare and then be done for the day, and now they've added different flights. At this point I have no idea. It just is what it is. Just bring the passengers, just tell me to do my job, and wherever we end up is wherever we end up. But how funny, this is legit flight attendant life. Like you get on the plane in the morning thinking you're doing one thing, and then before you know it, everything has changed and they've added more flights and we're going to a completely different destination. So how about that? Alright, we are in Joburg. We were supposed to have 32 passengers but we ended up with 34, so it took a while to update all that paperwork to make sure that it reflected the right amount of passengers. And now we're supposed to fly from Joburg to Bulawayo and then Bulawayo back to Joburg, and we're actually sleeping back in Joburg tonight again, and then we'll possibly be flying out of here tomorrow. So apparently there's 2 other aircraft from the airline that had some kind of technical issues, so they weren't able to complete their flights, so that's why we have been scheduled with these extra 2 flights for them. So yeah, it is 5 to 4 p.m. right now and we're just waiting for the passengers going to Bulawayo. Bulawayo should be about a 45-minute flight. It shouldn't be too bad. So we're gonna go there and come back, and then I'm going right home again. What is my life? My pilots are being so sweet. They're definitely keeping the positivity high. They're just laughing about it all. And it's kind of rare to fly with flight deck. Well, not rare, but it definitely stands out if you fly with flight deck that are in a better mood than you. I'm usually not the glass half empty person in the group. I'm usually the glass half full person in the group, but today my FO and my captain are definitely the glass half full gentlemen, and they are making this day such a vibe, and I'm so grateful to be flying with them. I was so busy in that first flight because all the passengers wanted to taste this Jacob's coffee, because I guess it's not something that is well known in America, because all those passengers came from America. They were part of one tour group. They literally filled the entire, I literally think that they created the flight just for this tour group of passengers from America. Let me also make coffee for my pilots as well. Okay, we're back. It's crazy how freezing cold the weather is here in Joburg. It's like 11 degrees, but in the same breath it's like sweltering hot in Vic Falls. I wonder what the temperature is going to be like in Bulawayo. I don't think I've ever been to Bulawayo. I actually can't remember operating a flight there. I'm gonna make myself, actually I think I'm gonna make myself a rooibos tea instead of a coffee because it is 4 p.m. like I said. Yesterday was crazy. Okay, no, I'm being dramatic. It was not that bad. It was just a typical day in the life of airline crew in general. This is just the kind of stuff that happens. Basically, 2 of the other aircraft from the airline that we're doing these charter flights for had technical issues and were AOG, which means that they couldn't fly until those technicals were sorted out. So then that's why they made us do the other 2 flights. So we were originally supposed to only do a flight from Johannesburg to Victoria Falls, which was about an hour and a half, and then a flight from Victoria Falls to Harare, which is under an hour, and then be done. I think we're supposed to sign off at like 3 p.m. We ended up signing off much later. So we ended up doing a Joburg to Vic Falls and then back to Joburg, and then from Joburg to Bulawayo and back to Joburg. And it honestly wasn't that bad because the Bulawayo flights are much shorter than the Victoria Falls and the Harare flights. So it honestly wasn't that bad in terms of flying time and stuff like that. My pilots were great, like I said yesterday. Like, guys, when I say the crew makes or breaks your pairing and your day. Like, some people could be incredibly bothered by a schedule change like that, and it could just bring everybody's energy down and everything, but honestly my pilots were hilarious and they were so great. The rest of the flights were pretty full. I think we had 37 passengers on the 3rd flight and 38 passengers on the last flight. So my plane seats 37 people, but I had 38 because one lady had a baby with her, this little 3-month-old cutie. Shame, I felt so bad. On the 3rd flight, the lady got sick and she like threw up, essentially, around her seat, and she was my wheelchair passenger already. Luckily, she was traveling with her husband, so he helped her clean up. I've got that giant bucket of sanitizing wipes on my plane, and I make sure we never leave without it. So I gave them that and they were able to sort it out. I tried to help them as much as I could. Unfortunately the passengers around them, they couldn't be moved because every seat was taken on the plane. And then when we landed, it took a little longer for cleaning because they needed to do like an extra deep clean on her seat and everything like that. But yeah, overall it was a good day. On our last flight, there was a lady who was having her birthday, and her sister asked if my first officer could make an announcement to just wish her happy birthday. And it looked like they were on like a girls' trip with like 6 of them, and it looked like they were about to have fun. Like my FO and I were like, why aren't we invited to these shenanigans, you know? Alright, we have like a job to come back to in the morning, but it's fine, whatever. Overall, it was a really good day. I just wanted to close this out now because I'm currently on my way back. It is the next morning right now, and I'm on my way back to the airport to go back to work. The only thing that made my day a little bit longer yesterday was the fact that I essentially, because I expected to be gone for 3 days, I drove my car to our hangar where car parking is free, and then I took an Uber from the hangar. Actually, not an Uber, a Bolt, because the Ubers kept rejecting my rides because they think it's too close. It's like literally on the other side of the airport. It's like a 7-minute drive maybe. So Uber kept rejecting my rides. I had to get a Bolt, and then when we eventually landed, as I was trying to request a ride, my phone battery died, like completely just died, because I had like 20%, 15% when we were getting off the planes. So I went into Mug and Bean and got a chai latte, and I had to sit there for like 30 or 40 minutes to wait for my phone to get up to like 35%. And oh, I almost forgot to tell you guys, while I was sitting there, there was a lady I just heard screaming because there was like an escalator right in front of Mug and Bean, and I thought this lady had like slipped and fell and like hurt herself on the escalator because people were screaming. And then like the security came up, the police came, like paramedics eventually came. It was a whole thing. I asked the waitress from Mug and Bean what happened, because I didn't like, you know, want to like get up and go there, because yes, Attendant for sure, but like, you know, I was trying to be like anyway, so I asked the lady from Mug and Bean what happened, and she said no, the lady slipped and fell, and when she fell, her weave got stuck in the stairs of the escalator. So because her weave was down to like her bum, and it got stuck in the escalator, so they were cutting her weave like out of the stairs. They had to like block it off, switch them off, and then they were cutting her hair to get her off. And I was like, oh wow, that's insane. And I'm sure it was very scary for her as well, because I'm sure you can't be sure if the escalator is going to actually stop or if it's just going to keep going and take your hair with it. And it wasn't a wig that could just like come off, you know, like it wasn't just one of those. It was like properly sewn in there. So, oh man, I felt so bad for the lady. But yeah, let me get going. I'm going to end this vlog here so that I can pick up a new one for my actual last trip of this month. So I'll see you guys soon in that vlog. Please have a fantastic day and continue spreading good vibes. Bye.
You give me a sign. Give me a sign. Oh, give me a sign. Baby, give me a sign.